So here I am with these things, and I start researching it to try and figure out, what's going on. And I had always had these like little red spots on my body. They look like little red, and I never could find anything that ever told me what they were. So at the same time this ovarian thing was going on, I found an article finally that said that these red spots were caused by, I went to my regular OBGYN. She wanted me to go on hormonal, medicinal hormonal things. And I said, I've been doing everything natural from the start here. I'm going to stick with that. So I went to my chiropractor, the molecular biologist chiropractor. And I said, what do you, and it's really funny because he's a Christian. Mm-hmm. And every time I come to him and I present him with something, he's just like been checking in on that. Mm-hmm. He's just been checking it. It's like a yin and a yang kind of thing. I said, you're like my yang, because he's always got like an answer to, what I bring into him to check on. And
Dr. Yang.
Yeah, he said, I got this stuff. It's called myomin, and what it has in it is turmeric, and turmeric is anti-tumor. And people probably don't know that, but turmeric helps break down tumor cell wall or whatever. So he put me on that, and then I started doing some reading on it and said it was enhanced by taking two other products, myomin, and I can't think of the other thing, but the other thing was sea cucumber. I can't think of what it's called, but it was sea cucumber. And so I got them in, I ordered them in, and I started, and he tested me to see if my body was strong to those, and I started taking them, and, these cysts are, going away on this kind of a thing. So I reordered a new product, and it came in with a paper that talked about diseases and causes and how they kind of approach things. And in there it talked about cherry angiomas being tied to hormonal issues. And I finally had a name for what these little red spots were on me. So I started researching them, and I found an article that said cherry angiomas are caused by bromine poisoning. Mm-hmm. And I looked at myself and I said, well, what's bromine?
Yeah.
I never even heard of that. Like, what is that? And then that's what sent me into the whole world of like halogens, and the fact that we're being exposed to these halogens like bromine, chlorine, and fluoride. And iodine, which is also a halogen, is the only one that's really good to be in your body. And iodine, is essential to life. It's mm-hmm. what makes our thyroids healthy. So,
which controls hormones.
Right, which controls hormones. See, right. So are you piecing it together? I'm hoping everybody else is too while they're hearing this. So if you kind of really look at it, we're going all the way back to like what is the real common denominator and why we harbored Lyme and Babesia and Ehrlichia, and our bodies didn't get rid of metal, because the part of our body that does all that, when you have a good working thyroid, your body filters out metal. It filters out diseases. And your thyroid also controls your digestion. Okay? And how your intestinal tract works. And so when this is working right, this works right. Mm-hmm. It ties back into my son's acne, my son and my daughter's acne. We were iodine. We got tested. Gary and I got tested, and once we knew we were iodine deficient, we knew the kids had to be too. Mm-hmm. The testing is very expensive to do, and we didn't test the children. But my kids all along have just, whatever we did for us, we did for them, and it just took us all to another level of health. So here we found we were iodine deficient, and we were iodine deficient because we were taking in bromine, chlorine, and fluoride. Now, I had to argue the chlorine thing, but even when we were having pizza tonight, I never really caught. I always think about the bromine in being in the wheat flour, but I never thought about the fact that they it's bleached wheat.
Yeah.
What are they bleaching it with? They're bleaching it with chlorine.
So they're getting a double hitter there.
Yeah, and then all these counties have mandated that our our water systems have to be chlorinated and fluoridated.
Totally.
And
Lori, I hate to interrupt you. Sorry, everyone. I have to step out.
Can I tell you one more thing that I think is really important? And that is that I look back and consider my illness and my family's illness a gift. Because had it not happened, I wouldn't have the relationship that I have with Jesus today.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Okay? It was there for a reason. It was there to show me my sin.
Thank you, Lori.
All right. Take care.
So I think Dan is a little bit more educated on everything than I am, so you're gonna get the short end of the stick just having me finish this out. I kind of have concentrated on a lot of different other things, but my wife is so interested in this, and my mother and her both are looking forward to this interview. My wife, and just it's hard, like when you talk to somebody one time about something, and there's so you're talking about these halogens and whatever. It's just like big words to some people, and just stuff we're unfamiliar with. And the average person has enough in their lives to like think about in their daily life.
Yeah, you should see when I try to talk to my mother.
It's like Braille.
She said, Lori, I don't know how you know all that, but you know what? It was what I was passionate about. Is what I wanted to find out about. Yeah,
it's totally more important than anything that's on TV and on the radio and what people are filling their lives with today. But anyway, so I guess we'll go back to you were talking about I think Ryan, and you were talking about the bromine. I think that was where
I was
we
talking
left
about
off.
the bromine, and how I didn't really even tell you, how we found like where the major source of the bromine was coming from. But I found out it was bromine, and then when I started reading, like, where did it come from? Like, it's if you heard of all the things lately about BPAs, polybrominated, it's the plastics are become a big thing. You know how you have a child, how they're changing they're saying now with the baby bottles they don't have BPAs in them.
I'm not aware.
Well, what happened is the baby bottles are made out of the plastics, and the bromine is in the plastic. And so when you take the bottle and you put it into the microwave and you heat the bottle, you're putting the bromine into the milk.
Wow.
And so that became a really big. So when something becomes a really big thing, they look at it, but they don't really look at the totality of it, and no one really understands that bromine is going into our wheat flour.
And not to mention that the microwave in itself is probably not good for us either. From everything that I've read about it. It gives off radiation as well. It was what was the original name for the microwave? It was like I forget what it was. It was like a radar range or something.
Radar range.
Radar range. That's what it was. Radar range.
The radar range.
That sounds healthy.
I never heard that. Yeah.
No, that's like back in the 80s, like when it came out, when the microwaves came out. But yeah. Anyways.
So you'll see on a lot of plastic items now, even the things that they tell you are to go in the microwave to cook your food. See, we don't even we use glass. In the microwave when we're heating something up, we use a glass product or a glass product with a lid or whatever, and we don't use plastic containers to heat up in the microwave because many of them could have the BPA's in them.
That makes me really happy that my son didn't latch onto bottles and that my wife breastfed him the entire year and a half.
Yeah, I think that's kind of essential.
That makes me really happy. I mean, hats off to her.
Yeah. But the article I found, had said the main source of this bromine was bread. The bread. What is that? Bread is a staple in everybody's diet today. It's your hamburger bun. It's the bread is one of the end substances, the end products. The wheat flour is used for so many things, like from pizza to gravy to pies to cookies to whatever. So when I looked at it that way, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm consuming bromine, hundreds of times a day, let alone not thinking about the unbleached piece of it. So you get into chlorine as well. And then, fluoride. And I only recently discovered, on the fluoride side of it, we had stopped using fluoride toothpaste. And we had stopped, and I told you, put the reverse osmosis on our house so we weren't drinking chlorinated water.
We did that because of you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we put it, I don't think we have as nice of a system as you do, but we have a little tank underneath that sink upstairs.
But but it's hard to really even stay away from it because tonight, when we ate out at a pizza place, that water we had in a cup is probably...
totally.
Chlorine in it.
Well, they have to. It's a commercial setting.
Exactly.
They have to put a between 0.5 or 2.0 parts per million of bleach or chlorine.
Right.
So.
And we had a cleaning company had come at one point to kind of show different natural products that were good for cleaning, bathrooms and stuff when you own a business that has something like that. They stated that, chlorine doesn't even kill germs. It's just a whitener. It doesn't even do what, they're professing that it should do, like the health departments are doing. But the health departments are regulated by the government.
The man.
Which goes to the top, and, who's
favorite
really.
Topic.
I don't, there, you can read things, but there are people that have invested interest in.
Can we just say Satan?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, I guess, we could.
Yeah.
The evil in this world is looking to find a way to be harmful, and that's what's happening.
It's people that are influenced by Satan. That's all I can say. That's not to say that those people don't need the Lord, or that I'm not trying to justify myself,
right?
Because I'm a sinner just like them. But unfortunately, they don't know what they're doing. I truly believe that a lot of the people who I'd say a good portion at the top definitely know what they're doing. But all the other people, we're trained to think we're doing the right thing. Right. We're like, hey, I'm helping you. I'm going to vaccinate you. Right. I'm helping you. I'm going to give you this.
Yeah. The doctors too, like in my dentist, he and I kind of go round and round on the, the fluoride issue. I just found out recently that when you get your teeth cleaned, the minty tasting thing has fluoride. The minty or the strawberry, whatever thing has. And I said, you know what? You know how I don't feel like about fluoride. So why have you been using this on my teeth? And I said, I want to know. She says, well, I don't, the dental hygienist said, well, I don't have to use that. I can use just pumice and hydrogen peroxide. I said, well, I would like that in my file and all my family's file, that's how, our teeth get clean. But I'm just saying that for you to realize that it's in places that you don't even know it is. You know what I'm saying? That you don't even expect it to be in, that we're being exposed to this group of halogens that is not healthy to our bodies. And so what happened, Sam, was that we started, removing bromine, making sure we were continued to eliminate chlorine and fluoride, and added iodine in both the form of iodine and iodide, because one portion feeds the thyroid, the other portion is good for your reproductive organs, back into our bodies. And we just achieved a level of health that we had not had ever in life.
Yeah. So I guess with like deodorant, soap, shampoo, all these things probably have a lot of these elements in there, don't they? I mean, would you say?
You got to kind of read and go back to like the most basic ingredient you can have or something. Like we use crystals for deodorants because they have aluminum in them. The aluminum, there's a preserved base in antiperspirants, which is aluminum. And if you read a lot of the literature, a lot of the aluminum is tied to the Alzheimer. It can be part of the Alzheimer piece. So we just try to go back to a carrot,
Sure.
A carrot that's not...
Pull it right out of the ground, wash it off,
in a box with all kinds of gravy all over it, because obviously that's got something in it to preserve it. So what you do is you get the carrot and you put your own herbs and butter and whatever on it. It's that kind of a way. And even then, how do you know you're not getting a carrot that had chemical on it or wasn't watered with chlorinated or fluoridated water? You know what I'm saying? You're not going to escape it all. But just being aware, I think, allows you to bypass some of it and at least feel better. Mm-hmm. Because maybe this is just the way it is until Jesus comes back.
Yeah.